Welcome to Monday Club! I'm Peter.
I'm Gus.
What's Monday Club?
Monday Club is the only show out there where you get a second chance at your weekend.
Screw Saturdays, party on a Monday. Monday is the new Saturday.
Welcome to Monday Club! Hey everybody out there in podcast land, this is Gus Davis. Along with me, as always, is my good friend, Mr. Peter Bois. Oh my god, guys, we have an amazing show for you today. Today, we talk epic fails. I tell the famous butterfly story. Pete does his skeptics talk. I tear it up in New York City and totally pay the price for it. Pete wrecks a rental car. This week's Teachable moment. Hang on, I'm too excited.
Woo! It's Monday! Finally!
It is finally Monday. Dude, so lots of times you and I are trying to weave these shows in and out of our busy schedules. Today is a perfect example of the tenets that Monday Club was founded upon. Because it is Monday and it's my only day off this entire week. And so I stayed in bed till noon today.
Nice. I am very jealous. I woke up, but I did get a good night's sleep last night. I forced myself to sleep because I'm sick still.
Oh, dude, you've been sick for 2 weeks now.
I know. It's a sinus infection now. It sucks.
Oh, those are awful.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'm sorry you're still feeling bad, but I'm glad you have a Monday to have some time off and relax and, hopefully heal. But my prediction is by tomorrow you're going to be all better, man.
Thanks. You know what, though? Monday Club makes me feel better. It's good to just chill out and chat and see your Skypeable face. And
my Skypeable face?
Yeah, you have a very Skypeable face, Gus.
That's going to be on my Tinder profile. I have a very Skypeable face.
We can do long distance. I have a very
That's
Skypeable
right.
face.
I'm great at long distance with my Skypeable face. Oh, my God. Well, dude,
we're cheersing to something hilarious today, aren't we?
Oh, we are, yeah. Because, dude, we got to get this out of the way. Cheers!
Cheers! Cheers to Epic Stretcher Fails compilation video. Oh my god. I found this on the thing we call Facebook, and it is freaking hilarious. It is 2.5 minutes of people that are trying to help other people and then not helping them.
Yeah, so I watched this video too. If it wasn't real, it would seem like a clown act, like a clown skit, right?
Yeah.
Because
this is a comedy routine right here.
It's obviously a comedy routine, except for these people are really trying to help these people to get off the field. But the funny thing is, I can totally see how this would happen, right? If you're not a trained professional, they just basically pull out a board with 2 handles on each end and say, oh, yeah, go pick that soccer player up and pull him off the field. And if you're not a professional at stretcher carrying, then, yeah, I can see how you'd totally screw this up.
Oh, my God, I'm watching it now. The biggest, the one that gets me the most is the guy on the front. So he's got the guy's head, right? The head side of the stretcher, that's what I'm trying to say. And his back is towards the guy, so he's picking up so he can walk forward with the guy behind him. And every time he tries to pick him up, the guy's head goes right into his ass, and he teabags his forehead. And the guy's like, what the hell is going on? He's like, don't put me in your asshole. And then there's some stretchers on here where they're actually medical people, take EMS people on real stretchers, and there's this guy in a neck brace, and he just throws the guy into a door, and his head just kind of whiplashes again. Oh my god!
Yeah.
If you like laughing at other people's misfortune, you'll love this.
Yeah, I love the ones where they pick them up in the stretcher and they start trying to walk, and then one of them just drops the stretcher and the guy falls out, and then they keep trying to put him back in and he falls out again, and the look on his face is like, seriously, you guys, I'm hurt here. Although the flip side of that is, Dude, every time I've ever watched soccer, those guys like will take a fake fall and act like they're hurt to try to get a penalty flag or whatever. So it kind of makes, it's in a weird Schadenfreude kind of way. It kind of makes me like okay with the idea of them getting dropped out of a stretcher. Like it kind of balances the world out.
And there's this one where the medical guy goes to get the player off the field, and he slides in like a baseball slide to be all cool. Like he's running really fast, and then he slides in to try to help him. But the guy freaking kicks the guy mid-slide that he's trying to help. Oh, this is worth a watch. Check it out.
Obviously, this is linked to our show. Look, do you ever watch any of the other epic fail videos? There's like a whole crap ton of epic fail videos.
I think people failing and other people's misfortunes are hilarious. I can't, minus them getting like seriously injured or killed. I think it's really, really funny.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because like it's just so unexpected, right? Like the fail is so unexpected. You think it's so innocuous to have like, okay, this guy's hurt, we're gonna put him on a stretcher. That seems like totally easy to do, and then they just totally jack it up like over and over and over again. So, dude, I have an epic fail story. You want to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I think this is the first epic fail that I was conscious of, and here's how it went.
Conscious of? Meaning the first epic fail you weren't completely plastered for?
No. I mean that I was in, I think, second grade.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Like early consciousness.
Like, yeah. So I was in second grade. And here's how this whole thing went down. We were studying life cycles. I remember that because we got this really cool terrarium in goddamn this. Okay, so we got this really cool terrarium in second grade, and they filled it up with all of these caterpillars. And over the next couple of weeks, we all had to take turns like feeding the caterpillars, and we like named the caterpillars and all of this stuff, right? And finally, after a couple of weeks, those caterpillars turned into chrysalises. They spun the little thing around them and were just these balls of threads hanging from the sticks. And I remember all of the kids, like every day we would go in and we would look and we would see what was happening. For a long time, nothing happened. And then finally, one day we all came back from a weekend, and me and my friends ran over to the terrarium, and butterflies were starting to come out of these chrysalises. And everyone in the class was so excited, and again, we renamed all the butterflies and all of that. And I remember our teacher took like long time to explain the life cycle of butterflies and caterpillars. Finally, the day came where she was like, okay, we're going to release these butterflies out into the wild. So it was on a Friday. We had like the week before was a celebration of the butterflies' lives, and we threw a party in the classroom to like, give them a good send-off. And we took them outside. I remember very clearly my second grade teacher, Miss Fife, took these butterflies outside, and we all got to say goodbye. She's like, 1, 2, 3, and all these little kids are like, bye. And she opens up the lid of the terrarium, and the butterflies start flying up in the air. It's their first time being free. And all of a sudden, a swarm of fucking grackles just flies down and decimates every single butterfly. Like, wings of butterflies are just raining down. Not a single butterfly survives the release of their freedom. And so our teacher's freaking out because she's got all of these little, like, second graders just staring up in horror as all of their new friends are just getting eaten by birds. And so I just remember her dropping the terrarium and be like, go back inside, go back inside, go back inside. Anyway.
Like butterfly holocaust. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, none survived. Not a single butterfly made it.
Oh, you learned the life cycle of butterflies. Now you learned the circle of life.
Yeah, it was definitely the circle of life. Anyway, I remember being conscious enough at that time to be like, oh, I see. That didn't go anywhere near as planned.
Oh, Oh, that's awful. Were you traumatized? Did
I
it take
was,
you a
man.
while to
Like
recover?
I really was. It scarred me for life. I think they even offered like counseling to like the second graders for what they saw.
Nice. Oh man, I wish I had an epic fail story, but guess what? I don't fail. Just kidding. All right, I got one. You bringing up epic fails reminded me of something really stupid I did. I used to spin fire. Do you know fire poi? So I used to have
Poi sticks, yeah.
I used to have for those of you not familiar with crazy fire things, you have a Kevlar wick that you dunk in like Coleman white fuel, and then you have a chain. About, I don't know, 2 or 3 foot chain or something like that, and then it has a handle, like a leather handle at the end, and you have 2 of them, one in each hand, and you dunk it in the fuel and light them on fire, and then you can spin them around your body in patterns, and it looks all cool. It's very hippie-ish, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Very fire. And so I was into that for a few years in my early 20s, and I was into it when I lived in Florida, and I remember going to a party. I started to become the guy that would do this at parties, like outdoor parties. If there was a bonfire, I'd break it out, and I thought I was all cool. Everyone was watching me spitting fire. And I think I got a little too drunk one night, and I was I was spinning it, and I did a behind the back move, and I didn't shake all the fuel off, and some of the fuel, the wick bounced against my shoulder blade, and some of the fuel bounced onto my shoulder blade, and it literally caught my shoulder on fire. And I was on fire, and I was spinning, and I didn't feel it because I was drunk. And my buddy Chris runs out of the crowd and starts tapping me and putting me out. And that was the end of my fire spinning for that night. I
don't... Ladies.
Yeah. Do you think this is sexy? Because I have second-degree burns on my back now.
Oh my God, that's so great.
So raise a glass, sir, to epic stretcher fails and butterfly fire fails. Oh, man. So, in honor of me being sick today, I'm sticking with the hot toddies, but I'm doing it in style today. I got my Monday Club mug. Boom. That's from
Look at you,
Gus Davis.
Yeah, representing with the Monday Club merch right there, man. Congrats. That's cool. Yeah. I'm so sorry you're still ill, man. It's just, those kind of things just hang on for so long. They're just annoying, you know?
Yeah,
and
I know.
It's like, they're annoying in a way that's, you are able to still function and do everything you want to. You just don't feel like doing it.
Yeah, I'm completely tired. I'm achy. Got the sinus pressure and just the constant faucet of snot coming out of my nose.
Hey, but you know what? Even though you have a constant faucet of snot coming out of your nose, you still have a Skypeable face.
Aw, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Well, I'm kicking it old school, man. Like I said, I quite literally just rolled out of bed and poured myself a heaping tall glass of Jack Daniels and honey. Jack and honey, old school, super favorite of mine with some ice in there, and it is the breakfast of champions. It's pretty good.
You like Jack with your Captain Crunch, huh?
I do like my Jack and Captain. Maybe Jack and oatmeal, but you
have to grow up one day, right?
That's right.
Well, thank you guys so much for being part of Monday Club and listening along. We love having you here every week and being part of the club. Give us a little love on iTunes, a little star review, whatnot up there. Tell a friend too. We want to grow the club, so if you're having fun with us, tell a friend about Monday Club so they can join in on the fun. And email us or check us out on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. What else do we have? Twitter, mondayclubpodcast.com, and email is mondayclubpodcast@gmail.com. So thank you guys for listening along and being part of the club. Yeah,
we want to give a shout out to Mr. John O'Brien. John, thank you. Thanks for being our listener of last week. We totally appreciate you, man. Also, dude, I don't know if you know this or not. John has a new vlog that he's trying out. It's sort of a video diary of his travels and his life. And on his vlog, he was given some just travel tips, like I think we all do when we are on the road a lot. And one of his travel tips was to find a good book or podcast. The podcast of his choice was Monday Club.
Oh!
So he gave Monday Club a huge shout out on his vlog, and we appreciate you, John. Thanks so much, man.
Nice, thanks, John. Yeah, that's awesome. We got our a vlog recommendation. That I do. That reminds me that I was vlogging for a while when we started this. I haven't vlogged in a month or 2 or 3, maybe.
Vlogging's hard, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people really get how hard it is to really capture enough of the interesting parts of your life. For every 5 minutes of vlog that you put out, you've recorded for an hour, right? Like, you just have to constantly have your camera on to capture those moments and to frame them correctly. Anyway, it's just I tip my hat to anyone who tries to put their life out there like that, because that cannot be easy.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have to get a link to John's channel so we can put it on the show notes below.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
So,
we'll do that for you, John.
Yeah. So this past week, I did my talk at the Gathering for Gardeners Celebration of the Mind at Carthage College. The first time I was asked to speak without doing magic tricks, which was a weird experience. And went really well. Everyone seemed to like it. I put together a 5-minute talk-ish and then filled it out with some Q&A from the audience. And I didn't go with what I initially had said I was going to do. I was going to tackle the big question, why do people believe what they believe? I just talked about ghosts and why I do magic with ghosts. And it went over really well. People liked it.
Stick with what you know in the 5 minutes that you have, right?
Yeah.
Dude, so you have I know that you are a skeptic and that you do this ghost show, but was it weird for you to take the crutch of doing a magic trick out of it, or did you feel like it was fine?
It was really weird. But also doing Monday Club has kind of prepared me to just talk. I feel more confident after doing 31 episodes of this. And so, yeah, but it was weird being live. I was nervous. I had my notes on my iPad, and so I was referring down to them because I feel like I write much better than I talk sometimes, especially when it's about serious topics that I want to be, say the right things about and not misspeak. So I kept referring down, but it was nice. It was cool. It made me want to actually develop a lecture about that 5 minutes and take that 5 minutes and turn it into, an hour-long lecture and that I sell with my ghost show. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you should totally do that, man. I think adding a lecture aspect as a extra sales point, especially about that topic, because that topic is about people's fundamental belief systems, right? Like, I mean, there are people out there who genuinely believe in ghosts, and you can't tell them anything different. And then there's other people who don't.
Yeah. Another aspect.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Another aspect of that is that, or not of that, that when I did my talk, I was telling people, obviously, I don't believe in ghosts and why I don't believe in ghosts. And then, we got into more discussion with the Q&A. And then I would say of the vast majority of the people that were at that talk went to the show that night too. So it was kind of cool that they had an inside perspective of me, the performer and creator of the show, where he's going to go do a show about ghosts, but inside they know, he thinks, he doesn't believe in any of this stuff. So it was kind of cool. They had a different perspective than someone who didn't go to that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the deal, man. I officially Monday Club dare you to get an hour-long lecture together about this that you can also piggyback and sell.
Oh, wow. Monday Club. Monday Club style?
Double dog Monday Club dared to do it.
All right. Double doggy style Monday Club, is that what you're saying? All right. I accept your challenge.
All right.
I will.
Right. You heard it here, folks.
I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'll start writing. See what happens.
Yeah, you have till next season. Next Halloween season. We are going to check in with you and find out if you tried to get out of a Monday Club double doggy dare.
Double doggy style dare. You got to get it right.
Okay, yeah, Monday Club double doggy style dare, right there. Hey, so go into a weird spot on that. when I see people do presentations, my least favorite presentation that I see is people who do PowerPoint presentations. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the PowerPoint problem that where they cease to be a person and they just become a reader of what's behind them.
Yeah. It's like I can read, or you can print out those notes and just hand them to me, and then we don't all have to sit here in a dark room with people we don't know. But if you want to lecture, then tell me some cool shit, and maybe use the video as an enhancer. But having notes on a PowerPoint, just, oh God, that just gets all over me, man. I totally hate it when presenters do that.
Okay, I will cross that off from my list of things to do. No PowerPoint for my
no PowerPoint. That's right. That's one of the rules of this bet. So any Monday Clubbers out there, if you're going to do a presentation, do a presentation. Don't do a hey, I'm going to read my notes for you because I can read.
Yeah.
There,
Speaking of reading, Monday Club Book Club, quick jaunt down Monday Club Book Club. I read a recommendation from you, or listened to it on audiobook, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline.
Oh, yeah.
And it was awesome, man. I just kept on wanting to find excuses to drive so I could listen to this book. I was like, oh, I'll go to the store. Pick me. Milk, I got it. It was awesome.
Yeah, that book is really, really good. This week because I've been traveling so much, I guess, I have been listening to all kinds of audiobooks. I finished the one second after, one day after, and the final day series. I've been listening to some short stories by Stephen King and Joel Hadelman, like who wrote the Forever War series. Some other book I was reading. Anyway, just lots and lots and lots of audiobooks. So, yeah.
Have you read?
So on that.
Go
ahead.
Have you read the Ernest Cline book Armada?
I have.
Oh, you have? Okay, I just started that.
You'll like it too. Yeah,
and I'm loving it. It definitely has a big flavor holdover from Ready Player One. You're like, yeah,
it does,
but it's starting to really find its own footing after a couple hours in. For me.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Monday Clubbers, if you are interested in nerd culture at all, Ernie Cline's books are amazing. The Ready Player One, he has a new one coming out. I don't remember what it's called, but Ready Player One and Armada are awesome, awesome books. I will say that one of the times I've gotten really jealous of our friend Brian Brushwood is he didn't mean to, but he name dropped while we were on the phone not too long ago, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was talking to Ernie." And I was like, Ernie? He's like, oh, yeah, Ernie Cline, the guy who wrote Ready Player One. So, yeah, I was talking to him, and I was like, you motherfucker.
And he calls him Ernie. All right.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they're BFFs.
Like you would know who Ernie is.
Anyway, Brian, I was pretty jealous, man. That was pretty cool that you know that guy. Yeah, so Ready Player One it's an awesome book. Has the movie come out already? Or is it coming out soon?
I think next year, 2018.
Yeah, everybody in Monday Club will set up a time for us to all go see that because that's going to be awesome. Man, okay, so you did your talk. It went pretty well. Oh, did you have any good question and answer? Like, did anyone ask like a question that you're like, oh, that's a cool question?
Yeah. Well, a lot of it was about skeptics. Like, so they would. One of them is, have I ever had any ghost experiences? And I've had like experiences I can't explain, but I don't think they're ghosts. I think there's an explanation out there. I just don't know what it is. It's not provable. So yeah, that was mainly kind of the gist of the questions.
Did anyone share their experience of that they believed that they'd seen a ghost?
No, they didn't. No, everyone just kind of.
I've had friends that told me their ghost stories. Since it's Halloween coming up here, I guess I'll share one of my friend's ghost story. He lived out in the country, and he the day before Halloween, his dog died. He had a little dachshund, and they like I said, they lived way out in the country, way kind of almost off the grid. And his mom woke him up Halloween morning, just like in complete and utter terror. And I've talked to both of them, like they've both say that this is exactly what happened. I wasn't there. What do I know, right? But Mom woke him up in complete terror, and like she grabbed him and brought him up to her bathroom that was upstairs, and she had just taken a shower, and there were paw prints on the top of the shower, like on the top of the mirror where in the bathroom, and they were very clearly paw prints, and that freaked them the hell out, and they got out of the house for a little while. But I don't know, man. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I can't tell you what it was.
See, it's an interesting story. People ask me about that too. Like, what would it get you to believe in ghosts? And I told them, every time someone tells me a ghost story, I'm like, yep, I believe in ghosts now. And then I walk away and I'm like, no, don't do that. No, stupid Peter, don't do that. Because you can't explain some of this stuff. I mean, and then a lot of coincidences could happen. I mean, those paw prints, it could be like seeing, Mary's face, the Virgin Mary, in a piece of toast, seeing clouds in the sky that look like dinosaurs. There's things that can explain that, I think.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you. I too do not believe in ghosts in any way, shape, or form. If you've seen a ghost or you believe that you've seen a ghost, I don't think there's any way to argue someone's belief away. You've had your experience, and no one can change your mind, But that being said, I do not ever want to see a ghost. I think it would change my worldview a whole lot, and then it would put me in the category of the crazy people who actually say that they have seen a ghost.
Yeah, some guy asked me, what would happen if you saw a ghost or somebody from an extraterrestrial plane? And I said, I'd probably run. I'd get the hell out of there. I mean,
that's the sensible thing to do.
I might try to take a picture while I'm running away, but other than that,
hence all the blurry non HD photos that have ever been taken of ghosts and supernatural things.
Oh, there's a ghost. No, that's just my scared face running fast.
Oh man! Well, congratulations on finishing your talk, man. It sounds like it went really well. And you did it while you were sick, so
yeah,
kudos to you.
Extra points. Hey, guess what? Yeah. I have big news for you, man.
All right, what?
Huge news. We are both Southwest guys, right?
We
fly Southwest. Yeah. There's a reason why you've been saving your points, man.
Okay.
Southwest is starting to fly to Hawaii next year. Ho! Can you say Monday Club excursion to Hawaii?
Oh my God, I'd be so naughty.
That would be
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
No, that's the one state I have not been to in America.
Have you been to Alaska?
I have, a couple times.
Damn. Well, I've never been to Alaska, but I have been to Hawaii, and it is freaking beautiful, man. I went to the Big Island, and they have 3 or 4 different beaches that have different color sand on them. Like there's a green beach, a black beach, a white sand beach, and I don't remember what the other one is, but maybe blue. But for whatever reason, because of the minerals that are there, the sand that's on the shore is like on the black sand beach, just completely pitch black sand, but normal sand in every other way. And I saw some big turtles that were on the sand and stuff like that. It's gorgeous, man. So yeah, if you want to just save up our points and go there for a Monday Club meetup, I am in, man.
That sounds wonderful. I currently have about 500,000 points, and I need to use them on something. So I think it's Hawaii.
Yeah, that sounds good, dude. Do your points stay for can you just keep piling them up year after year, or do they disappear after a year?
They never disappear. That's what's great about Southwest.
All right.
Yeah, well, they never. That's I use some occasionally, but I can't use them fast enough because most of the time I travel, people pay for my plane ticket. So right. I just kind of save them up, waiting for a rainy day, and looks like it's going to be pouring rain next year.
Well, in this hemisphere anyway, not in Hawaii.
Not in Hawaii.
One of the things
clear skies.
That's right. One of the things I found out, if you ever Monday Clubbers find yourself in Hawaii, just know that is a crazy expensive place. Like they have to import everything. So I remember I went and I was trying to get some orange juice for breakfast or something like that, and a gallon of orange juice was something like $11. I mean, it was like something ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, fish there was pretty cheap. The seafood was really cheap, but anything that they have to import from the mainland or from anywhere else, just the cost of it is insane. So, yeah, just remember that if you ever find yourself on a flight to Hawaii, pull out some extra bucks because it is pretty expensive.
Good tip. What have you been up to lately, man?
Dude, so this, since the last time we talked, I've done a couple of one-off shows. We've had another couple of conferences that we've gone in and out of. Really, my favorite thing that happened to me this week is that I went and did a show in Delaware, and that same weekend, this past weekend, my wife was doing a show in Manhattan in New York. And so I surprised her by staying over one extra day and driving from Baltimore up to Manhattan, and I got us a little hotel in Queens, and then took the train from Queens down into Manhattan, and we just partied it up in Manhattan. It was like we had a daycation, dude. It's like we had 12 hours to just party as hard as we could in New York before we had to fly back home. And that was really fun, man. And it was cool to see her be such a rock star doing her improv stuff in New York. So
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Man, that's what I've been up to.
You know what? Sometimes when you have the least amount of time is when you really get motivated to fit shit in. You're like, I got 12
exactly
hours.
What happened.
We're going to see the entire city of New York in 12 hours.
That's exactly what happened, man. And I mean, if you've never been to New York is my favorite city to go visit. I would never live there, but it's my favorite city to go visit. If you've never been to New York, when you go over the George Washington Bridge, there's a spot on the bridge where you're looking straight and you're just looking at nothing but like skyscrapers in front of you. And then you can turn your head as far to the left and as far to the right as you can turn your head, and you still just see nothing but skyscrapers. It is all city. And there's no other place that you can get that. I mean, Chicago, LA, all of those places are big cities, but nothing like that, where from in a 180-degree panoramic view, you see nothing but skyscrapers. It's really badass.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm glad you had a good time in NYC, man.
Yeah, man, we killed it. It was cool. Like you said, with 12 hours, there's no time to do like anything huge, so we just did like lots of little stuff. Like we found some on the old Yelp app, and with some recommendations from her friends in NYC, we went to a couple of different like bakeries or delis and just had appetizers. I got a whole bunch of beer flights while I was there, which that makes me happy. But we went to a lot of places and just ordered appetizers, then moved on to the next place. We saw the theater that Shannon got to do her thing in, and got like the backstage tour from one of her friends who works there. We went and had dumplings. We had desserts. We took the train and buses, lots of different places. Like, it was cool, man. It was just really fun to just, like you said, hit it as hard as we could until basically we got back at 3 o'clock in the morning back to the hotel, and she had to be on a flight at 6.
Nice. Nice. Do it up right, man. Last time I was in New York, you mentioned dumplings. We went to Chinatown. I might have talked about this back in the on Monday Club in the past, but I just want to say dim sum in a Chinatown, I've had it in Boston, New York, is amazing. And always go with a Chinese person because they know the best shit to eat. So.
Oh, yeah. Dim sum is great. The only problem with dim sum for me is that they just keep bringing it, and everything they bring looks good. And so it's not like one of those places where you can go and be like, oh, I'm just a little hungry, and have like 2 or 3 things and then be done. Yeah, I walk out of there and I need to have, I'm in a food coma, man. I have the meat sweats after that.
It's incredible stuff. Speaking of dim sum, the Patriots played last night.
Nice transition, buddy. Nice transition.
Thanks, man. Thanks. And so last night was Sunday, obviously, and I had just gotten back from a week on the road, and I had about 6 or 7 hours over the previous 2 nights, so I only lasted till halftime. I couldn't make it, man. I couldn't make it. Was an 8:30 p.m. game, so it was going to be way too long. But I watched the first half, and it started out as a really good game. The Patriots and the Falcons, scoreless first quarter. The defenses were playing awesome. The Patriots defense stepped up huge this game, and the offense did too. Second quarter, Patriots scored 17 points. They were on fire, and that was really the best part of the game. So I didn't miss much because there was only Atlanta finally scored a touchdown in the fourth, and New England just had a couple more field goals. So it was 23-7. The Patriots pulled out the win over the Falcons in a Super Bowl rematch, and it was pretty badass. And it was good to see the defense almost get a shutout. Almost. They were so close to getting a shutout. And, yeah, what a good game. What a good game,
dude! Well, congratulations to your team. It's always better when they don't suck.
Yeah. What the big thing I like about the Patriots is they always get better. It's so they always learn from their mistakes. They always get they falter in the middle of the season here and there, but for the most part, they just kind of learn from their mistakes and get better. And that's been true, throughout the years. You can just see their team usually just get better throughout the season, and so it's cool to see them coming together.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, congrats to you. You're still I'm pretty sure you're still in the lead on this bet that we made a long time ago about this football season. So we'll see how you stack up. But it always I can tell every week when I see Pete on and his Skypeable face, I can always tell that he's in a happier spot when the Patriots win. So kudos to you, kudos to them. All right, Pete. You know what time it is, right?
It is. Yes, it is. Erotic fiction. You get to read to me dirty stories.
I do. All right. So, Monday Clubbers, if you haven't been with us for a while, we know that a lot of you aren't necessarily football fans or sports ball fans, but we do want to encourage Pete. This is a big part of him. He's been a Patriots fan since day one. So, here's what we decided to do. We decided that while I was looking over some of the football terminology, I realized that a lot of the terms that are used in football are the same terms that are used in erotic fiction. So, I'm going to read 3 quotes from erotic stories. Pete's job is to correctly identify what football word is inside of each quote, and then change that football word to being the definition of whatever it is in terms of football and remake the sentence. If he can do that 2 out of 3 times, I'm going to buy one of you Monday Clubbers out there a drink. That's right, free drink from Monday Club. The way that works is all you have to do is on our Facebook page, say this secret word, which the secret word this week is...
Good question. The secret word is... toenails.
Toenails. I like it. All right. You got to use toenails and I want a free drink in your own piece of erotic fiction. Post that on our Facebook page and you will win a free drink from us. Toenails and I want a free drink in the same sentence that's an erotic sentence. Okay. Pete, you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go, listeners. I want to apologize ahead of time. I apparently wrote these in my sleep because I was doing research on a plane on a flight back at like 11 o'clock at night and had no sleep. So don't really remember any of these. So that's my one and only apology. Here we go. God, Jesus Christ. The urge to gag had receded. She breathed each time he pulled out, only to feel strangely possessed as he pushed back in.
Oh, that's the dirtiest sentence you've said all season.
I know, man.
Wow. I'm going to go with possessed.
That's correct! Ding, ding, ding!
Yeah, I got a ding!
All right, what's your definition?
Possessed. That is when, it's the past tense, so it's when a player or team possessed the football. You possessed the ball, so you had control of the ball. You had control of the ball.
That is correct! Congratulations. All right, man, that's 1 for 3. All right, you got to use it in the sentence.
All right. Do you want to do the official definition from the rule book?
Sure. Yeah. For you basically said it.
Oh,
man.
okay.
It's physical control of the ball after a pass or fumble.
Okay.
So physical control of the ball is possession.
The urge to gag had receded. She breathed each time he pulled out, only to feel strangely... What was the definition? I got too into the sentence.
Yeah. All right. Read the sentence again.
Wait, what's the definition again?
It's a physical possession
physical.
of the ball.
I wanted to start. Okay. The urge to gag had receded. She breathed each time he pulled out, only to feel strangely physically controlled after a pass or catch as he pushed back in. That's so hard
Good
to
enough,
mesh.
man.
Nonsense.
Oh my god. Whew.
Do they get dirtier as we go on now?
Probably. I don't know. Like I said, I really don't remember these. Okay, here we go. By the way, I found all of these on, it was very, very easy online. I just typed in online erotic fiction. I think these next two might be from our old favorite Remittance Girl. So, remittanceGirl.com. That's where
I thought they
these
were
came
from your
Right.
personal collection.
No. I haven't started writing my own yet, but that will probably happen eventually. All right, so here we go. Question number 2. He wants simplicity, a bit of friendly fun, perhaps a reenactment of some 2-minute long video he used for last week's wank.
2 minute. You just totally said wank.
I sure did. All right, 2 minutes is correct.
2 minute. It's a 2 minute warning. 2 minute drill. But in the rules, 2 minute warning. That's when there's 2 minutes left in the half or the end of the game, and the clock stops.
2 minute warning is correct. A free time out given to both teams when there is 2 minutes left of the game on the game clock in each half. Certain leagues may use different times for this warning, but the NFL at 2 minutes you get a free timeout. That's correct.
All right. He wants simplicity, a bit of friendly fun, perhaps a reenactment of some timeout at the end of the half or the game long video he used for last week's wank.
Oh my god, that was great.
Is it not? Is it May yet?
Is it May? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. No. All right. Oh my god. All right. Last one, man, to be perfect this week. I guess by the way, that means that somebody out there is getting a free drink.
Yeah. Congratulations. You're very welcome. You can thank me. Send flowers to my Facebook.
All right. Here's your last one to be perfect for this week. God damn it. Pushing her chest down hard on his naked back, the tie clip leaving a scratch mark all the way down his spine.
I would say back.
You know, that is one. That's not what we were going for this week. I thought about editing that one, but no, not back.
All right, I'll keep going. Let's see.
Right.
How about clip?
Is correct.
A clip would be a penalty, right? It's an illegal, some sort of illegal block or move, correct?
That is correct, my friend. A penalty called for an illegal block in which the blocked player is hit from behind or at or below the waist. It's a 15-yard penalty.
Bam.
So they get hit at or below the waist is a clip.
Pushing her chest down hard on his naked back, the tie hit in the back for 15 yards, leaving a scratch mark all the way down his spine.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Bois is perfect this week. 3 for 3. One of you is getting a free drink. Woo!
Man, I love this game. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. This is hilarious.
You're welcome.
It puts two of my favorite things together, erotic fiction and football. And I mean,
erase that.
just football.
Oh my God. All right, so remember the phrase that pays is toenails and I want a free drink. Use both of those words in a sentence, in an erotic sentence, and on our Facebook page, and we will send you a free drink. Pete, congrats again, man.
Thanks, man. And let's take that to...
Hey, it's time for Stories from the Road.
So we've been both pretty busy this past week on the road. It's basically been airport, car, show, hotel, airport, car, hotel, show, in that order, repeat for a week for me. And I was driving back from my show Sunday morning to the airport from Wisconsin to Midway, Chicago airport, and I got stuck in some stop-and-go construction traffic. And so basically, if you don't know what stop-and-go construction traffic is, you stop and you go, and you stop and you go, and you stop and you go. And then I stopped, and then the guy behind me forgot that next time was stop, but he continued to go, so he went go and go, and he rear-ended my rental car. And put a big old dent.
Man! Sucks!
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, bro.
Hey, no worries. You know, he didn't run off. There was nowhere he could just run off to, so we pulled over. I got his insurance and registration information, took a picture of it, and just went back into traffic. And the national car rental took all that information, and I don't think I will be held liable because whenever you get rear-ended, it's like very, very rare that you could be held liable for that. So I think I'm in the clear. I don't think my hands are clean and washed of this. Go get it out of Travelers Insurance Company.
Oh, dude, my fingers are crossed for you, bud. Because do you ever get the insurance on a rental car?
No, I think it's a scam.
I think it's a scam, too. I think it's a total and complete scam. That being said, it terrifies me every time when I look at my rental car when I'm returning it, and maybe there's a ding on it that I didn't notice before, or a piece of asphalt comes up off the highway and hits the windshield, and I'm always just terrified that they're just going to screw me over. Because I've heard such horror stories about rental car companies and screwing people over.
I've never had a problem with that. All the cars I rent, I don't even look them over before I get in them. I just get in and go, and I've never had a rental company try to pin something on me.
Oh, so twice in my life I've had weirdness with it. Once I'd been flying to the same airport every week for like 6 weeks straight, and having the same person behind the counter, this chick, check me in and check me out. And, you have that interaction over and over again. You end up sort of being friendly and waving and all of that stuff. Well, I returned it for the last time, and the last time I returned it, her boss came out and checked the rental car in and was like, "What's this?" and pointed to a ding that was on the car that I'd never seen before. And I was like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Well, we're going to have you fill out some information. That's going to come out of your, you're going to have to pay for the damages on this car." And I was like, whoa, no, I'm sure that did not happen while I was driving. And she was like, "Well, if without any paperwork, you're going to have to just take care of it." And right then, that girl that had always been checking me in and out came outside. I was like, "Hey, you rented me this car. Was that already there?" And she looked, and she just saw the panic in my face. She's like, "Oh, yeah. That was returned like that from the guy before you.
Nice.
Sorry." And so she totally covered for me. Anyway, I gave her a super big jumping high five. And then, so that was the first time.
What rental company? Was it a big rental company?
Yeah, it was like dollar though. It was like, I always think there's like a pantheon of rental car companies. You've got your Hertz's and your Enterprises and stuff like that, and then you've got on the bottom end of that spectrum, you've got Budget and Dollar and
Fox,
Go Car. Yeah, exactly, right. So then the second time, I had rented an 18-passenger van. And the one day I wasn't in the van, I had to go off and do a show, and I came back, and the guys who were driving the 18-passenger van were like, "Hey, bro, we're really, really sorry, but we backed into an apple cart and scratched up the van." And I was like, "No!" And so the next stop, we called out of Craigslist, we called these guys that were like, hey, we can fix any dent on a car. And these guys came over to the van, and they clipped onto the battery of the van, their power tools, and they sanded it down and then popped it out and then repainted it, and it was good as new, man. Like, you just couldn't even tell where the dent had come from. But that's how we took care of that one, because anytime you have to go through insurance, it's going to cost you 2 weeks of time and all of the paperwork and a crap ton of money. So, yeah, that's rental cars being damaged is always terrifying to me.
Yeah, I hear you. But I feel like I'm in the clear. You know, it was I got all his information. I don't think unless he disputes it somehow, which I don't know how he could dispute being rear-ending me.
Right.
It's obvious that I was hit in the rear from another car. That it was a rear end. So.
Well, dude, I'm sorry that happened. Were you in a hurry, or was it all good?
Oh man, I was so pissed I didn't check Google Maps before I left, because there was tons of construction and I could have taken another interstate to go to the airport, and I was stuck in traffic for like 30 or 45 minutes. So there was no chance. If I wanted to make my flight, I was not calling the cops, because that would have taken forever to get an accident report filled out.
Right.
Yeah. So I was trying to get there in a hurry.
On that note of using Google Maps, I use my Garmin for most of the GPS work that I do when I'm traveling around. But I use my Garmin to get me from Baltimore into Queens. And I don't know if Garmin has a deal with toll roads. Like, I don't know how that works out. I spent $50 on tolls from Baltimore to Queens. Like, I ended up on I took the Lincoln Tunnel, I took the Queens Tunnel.
Well, that's like $20 right there.
Yeah, the Queens Tunnel is freaking $15.
Yeah.
It's $15 just to go through the tunnel to get to Queens. And there's a bajillion other access points. Like, that's not your only entrance point. I just didn't know it. And so yeah, it cost me damn near $50 to get there from Baltimore. So on the way back, I used Google Maps, and Google Maps is like, psh, yeah, bro, take these 3 bridges, and then it'll get you on 95. You're still on the New Jersey Turnpike, but, I mean, that cost me like $16, and I was back at the airport. So screw you, Garmin, and your under-the-table deals to get all of my toll money.
I will save my rant for Garmin in my teachable moment.
Oh, do you have a Garmin rant?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's cool. All right, cool.
So where have you been this past week, man? You been on the road,
man?
a bunch?
So I told you that I was in Baltimore and Delaware and New York. I think most of my everything I did that wasn't business was just like balls to the wall travel, man. Like yesterday, I told you I went to bed at 3. We got up at like 4:15, so we got an hour and 15 minutes of sleep. I put Shannon on an Uber and said, good luck, you got to get to the airport on your own. So she took an Uber to the airport. Then I slept till like 9. So, I mean, I guess I got 3 or 4 more hours of sleep. And then drove back from Queens back to Baltimore. And just... man, my flight wasn't until 8-something at night, so I had all day just to wait around in airports. I ended up getting an oil change for our vehicle that's up there, and I was at like this really weird because it was Sunday, it was a really weird like Pep Boys that I went to that was like just this redneck Pep Boys, and there was nobody in there. I was like, hey man, how long is it going to take for this oil change? They're like, it's going to take about an hour. I'm like, oh, okay. So I walked across the street to this like just crazy diner and had crappy biscuits and gravy and stuff like that, and then walked back and got my car. Anyway, yeah, just mostly this week has just been filled with like an hour and a half of show or like 10 hours of partying it up in New York, and then the rest of it has just been nothing but trains and planes and Uber rides and rental cars and stuff like that. So, I mean, you know how that is this time of the year, but it's brutal, man. Like I said, I slept today till about noon. I was done.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, I'm still in a travel haze, man. I'm still in a travel haze.
Oh man, I'm looking at Pete's face. Pete and I both look like we've been through it, man. We're both just like, yeah, that's rough.
We feel your pain. Yeah. So let's go to some teachable moments.
Teachable moments.
All right, I said I would save my rant. All right. I was traveling to Vermont for 2 shows on Thursday. What's today? Yeah, Thursday and Friday, 2 shows in Vermont. And I'm following my GPS, Garmin GPS. And I like using a separate GPS unit rather than my phone so I can play audiobooks off my phone without it interrupting, because it always pauses the book, and it's so annoying.
No, I'm totally with you. That's what I do too.
Yeah, or podcast, whatever you're listening to. And I miss the right turn that Garmin says for me to turn, and I keep going. And usually I just turn around and go back, but then Garmin recalculated and said, oh, you can just take this road another mile up. So I thought, okay, let's do that. So I kept going and took that right, and it was a dirt road. And now Garmin has done this to me before, but... So I wasn't too worried because usually it just pops you out at another regular road. So I just kept going. I was a little upset. I don't want to be on a dirt road. And I'm traveling along, and I get farther down this dirt road. It just keeps going and going, and then it turns onto another dirt road, and I turn onto another dirt road. And then it takes me to basically the end of the road. Basically the end of the road. I come to this spot with a sign that says "Enter at your own risk." Class 4
no!
Yeah, Class 4 vehicles only. Enter at your own risk, and it's basically an ATV trail that Garmin is telling me to go on. And guess what I do?
Do you go on it?
I go on it.
Hell yeah!
So I go 50 yards down. I'm like, screw this. I'm in a Honda Pilot. I can take some off-roading. And I go about 50 yards down, and it turns into a downhill, and that's when I decide not to continue on, because my bill for the car repairs will be much greater than the story I get out of it, because the downhill was full of rocks, and it was really uneven, and it got really narrow, and I was like, I'm not going down that. So I reversed and had to go all the way back to the main road and find another way around. But, so here's my teachable moment. Screw you, Garmin. Don't take me on any freaking dirt roads anymore. Always use Google. But I'm still going to use Garmin because, like I said, Google using my phone pauses my audiobooks.
Hey, do you have one of those Garmins that you can talk to?
Yes, voice command. Right?
Yeah. So
do
you know you can rename voice command to anything you want?
No.
Yeah, there's a setting on there where you can rename it to anything you want. So mine is, I say, GPS, do my bidding, and it pops up and it says, say a command. So that's what I have. James on his changed it to twat waffle. So he's like, hey, twat waffle. It says, say a command.
That's great. I think I need to do that. Maybe I just need to update my maps. Maybe I should download some
I don't know,
maps.
because I think that's forever is going to be a problem with... I had for... You remember when Apple Maps first came out and everyone was like, Apple Maps is terrible?
Yeah, it was.
I think it's gotten slightly better. Like, I think they've actually tried to update their Apple Maps. But when Apple Maps first came out, James and I were in 2 separate vehicles, and I was on my way back to the hotel from a gig. And Apple Maps was taking us on all these small-ass little roads, and James was following me, pulling a trailer. And I turned off to go where I was just following the map. I turned off where Apple Maps said to go, and James just passed me. He's like, screw this, and just kept going. Anyway, he called me about 5 minutes later, and he's like, dude, where are you? I'm already back at the hotel. And I was quite literally, the headlights of my car were pointed at a hay bale maze. Like I was in a maze in a field somewhere.
Now, could Apple Maps navigate you through this maze? Because that would have been impressive.
Apple Maps couldn't even get me to the hotel. Oh man. All right. Yeah. Use Google Maps. Yeah, actually, it's funny. Google Maps is, I think, my teachable moment, because while I was in New York, one of the things I learned, because here in Austin, we have a super shitty public transportation system. Like, it doesn't even try. If you move to Austin, you have to have a car. I mean, there's no way around it. It's such a spread out city that you have to have a car unless you're willing to pay $1 bajillion to live downtown, and then I guess you can sort of navigate if you want to, but you have to have a car. So I've never used this feature of Google Maps, but when I was in New York, I dropped our stuff off in our hotel in Queens, and then I looked on the map to see how I was going to get to Manhattan, to Times Square. And there's a feature on there where you can hit transit, which is like public transportation. And it has such a badass description of how to get where you're going to go, where it'll be like, look, it's going to take a quarter-mile walk to this bus stop or to this train station, and then take the number 7 train. They'll drop you off in Times Square, and then walk a quarter mile to your west, and you'll end up at the place you're trying to get to. And man, it was easy. It was super, super easy, and it made me feel like I actually knew what I was doing, and I never felt like I was lost. So here's to you, Google, and your awesome maps, and especially your transit feature. That was super helpful when I was in New York.
Yeah, one big teachable moment for Google Maps. Well, that takes us to the end of this week's Monday Club. Thank you guys for joining us and being part of the club, and hope you have a fantastic partylicious Monday.
Pete, feel better, buddy.
Thanks.
Oh my God, Monday Clubbers, that was it. Let's do it again next week, okay? Same bat time, same bat channel. Want to make sure you guys all know that you can find us at MondayClubPodcast.com, on Facebook.com/MondayClubPodcast, Twitter at MondayClubPod, Instagram at MondayClubPodcast. Email us at MondayClubPodcast@gmail.com. That is also our PayPal account, so if you want to buy us a free drink, that's the way to do it. I cannot say enough thank you to Mr. James Caldwell, our sound engineer and my road buddy for this last week. And also, of course, to Zach Holder, who provided our music. You guys stay safe out there. Have a good time. Monday Club it up, and we will see you next week.
Come back next week for our Skypeable Faces.